All right, so pulling handles. Start with a chunk of clay and pat it into a carrot shape, as my professor said. Nothing inappropriate, just a vegetable. I always keep a good hand-sized lump at the top because it gets a little slippery and need to make sure I don't drop it. So once you have the start of the carrot, we're going to start pulling. And we're just trying to lengthen and thin out the handle. Turn it constantly to keep it round at this point. Dipping my hand in water if I need to. And then once I have it thinned out to about, 3/4 of an inch or so, I start flattening. So I use my first 2 fingers or my finger and thumb, turn it 180 degrees, and I'm just bit by bit flattening out the handle. Every once in a while I do it down the sides too, just to kind of keep it straight-ish. So for me, at least, the key is slow and steady. Don't try to squeeze it too thin in one go. Just over and over and over. Flip it around. Always keeping it tapered, like a nice wedge of clay at the top for a good strong attach point. Squeezing it. Sometimes it will kind of start curving off one direction or the other. This one's pretty straight, but you just sort of guide it back where you want it. Don't want to get it too thin. That's pretty ideal for my pots. So once I'm happy with the length and thinness, try to get a little extra slip off. And then I use my needle tool, cut it off at an angle. I always end up cutting off a little bit more when I attach it, so it's not super important that that's real straight. And then I have this form in my Tupperware, so as they're stiffening up, they've already got a bit of a curve to them. I try to always make at least one extra handle in case something goes wrong while attaching or drying. Sometimes I don't make extras, but I try to be good and always make at least one extra. Again, just making sure that I have a lump that I can hold on to up top. Turning, thinning out. Personally, I find it a little tedious, but I don't think it's really any slower than anything else. If I was going to extrude handles, that's a lot of cleanup. If I was going to roll out handles, you have to roll out the slab and then cut it and then smooth it. Of course, it takes practice, but I've been doing this for like 12 years or so, and the process goes pretty quickly at this point, and I can make pretty consistent handles. I hated it when I first started, that's true, but practice, practice, practice. Nice and quick. Just line them up in here. Got 4 and I have 5 mugs. I need to make 2 more.